All right, everyone, welcome back into another props video. Going to be touching on the top prop bets for the two Elite Eight games on Sunday in college basketball for both PrizePicks and Underdog. Let's go ahead and get into it. Now, guys, the last two slates for college basketball have been pretty nice lately. So we went 5 for 6. Really, Taco Tuesday slip went 5 for 6, and then the college basketball slip went 5 for 6 on Thursday as well. That continued on Friday, where we had this 2-slip bet, kind of just a simple bet slip. These were the top 2 prop bets on the board. In simple, we were just placing these 2 prop bets there. So kind of nice there. And today we are, or for the Sunday slip, we are getting a couple of nice spots as well, especially the top prop bet on the board. Let's go ahead and talk about that. And guys, so one of the top prop bets that we are going to have is going to be Zeigler to get under his fantasy score of 32.5. This is actually one that really pops up. So I'm showing you guys a slight update that I made to the 9-to-5 cheat sheet. So looking at it, guys, this is just based off of the cheat sheet. We'll get into the college basketball prop bets tab here in just a second, but I want to show you guys the slight update. So when you click on a cell, they'll populate the data in here so you guys can get like a simple snapshot. I'm really doing this update more so for the YouTube crowd, honestly, because I know that a graphic is much easier to look at rather than the table view. But basically what we are looking at here, guys, is the average sportsbook line has him about 27.7 here. The projection data really does not like him, giving him a line of 23.9. So the line really at 32.5 is one that is clearly a little bit too high. Now, also, when we go ahead and jump into the college basketball tab here, we're going to notice a little bit of something here as well. And that's going to be that this game is projected to be a very, very low scoring game. I mean, 123.5. That is crazy. I don't know if I recall a game being that low in March Madness yet. I mean, that is a super low scoring game. Compare that to the other game that we have, 147.5. Okay, so it is a close game there, but yeah, pretty crazy. So if that game does end up being pretty low scoring, it is more likely that he is going to be someone that does struggle. Now, when we look at the game log, this is a game log that I'd like to see actually. And a lot of people would be like, what do you mean by that? He's gotten the over 4 of the past 5 games. Yeah, but he's gotten the over 4 of the past 5 games, and it's really been close for a few of them here. And so you give it a more difficult matchup, and it wouldn't be surprising to see the under be the way to go here. I like the fact that he is kind of a consistent producer. So when Vegas is telling us to bet the under, I'm more on par with that. And obviously, if we just look at like the matchup ranking on like something like DraftKings, we're gonna know it's the 3rd most difficult matchup. So yeah, I'm right on board with him being the under fantasy score option for us here, and that is the best bet on the board for the games. But if we're going to be doing his under, it also makes sense to just be stacking some of the other unders that we have available here for Tennessee as well. So what we'd be looking at is Gainey to get under his fantasy score as well. So looking at, guys, the average sportsbook line would have it at 16.5. The projection data really doesn't like him as well, having it at about 15.71. And again, just kind of looking at the game log, this is a game log that I kind of like to see. You know, just a consistent producer. One spike game there against Florida, kind of oh well there. Again, just betting on the game here, I'm kind of okay getting on the under. And then that would leave us with Chaz Laner as well for his under fantasy score, which is one that kind of was clutch for us last slate, where he was able to get his under fantasy score, but also able to get his over rebounds, which were 2 prop bets that were kind of popping up, about a 53% likelihood for those 2 to hit. And those 2 both ended up hitting. Now, I will say the average sportsbook line is a little bit closer to around 25.5 for him, but the average sportsbook line at 23.6 here. The projection data again at 20.2. Projection data is a lot lower on Tennessee, and I'm assuming that's just due to the game total, that is. And now I will say, guys, I am very interested to see what the underdog fantasy score lines are going to be for these games, because that could be a big spot, because these are already pretty low lines for all these players. And so it'd be very interesting to see if underdog is going to go lower or higher here, or going to be right on par with PrizePicks. That could end up creating a pretty nice edge for us. So just be on the lookout for those once underdog gets those lines available. They might have them available on Saturday night. That's when I'm recording this video. That'd be pretty nice. Now, guys, from there, the board definitely gets a lot tighter in terms of good prop bets that we could be targeting. We can get into this Auburn game. So the game total is about 147.5, with Auburn favored to win by 5 points. We see Pettiford for under his points, rebounds, and assists here of 18.5. This one has about a 53% edge, which is a bet that I don't know if I necessarily need to get to. Again, it's not a 54% likelihood for it to hit, so it's not even like a plus EV bet that we need to go out of our way to target. But really, if we're trying to search for bets just on this slate, just in college basketball, we really aren't getting any other good ones. And that's kind of the issue that we have, at least for PrizePicks purposes. So really with that, I think we're just going to be kind of having it conclude there And so what we're going to have to do, if I'm going to try to find a bet of the day for you guys for PrizePicks purposes, I'm going to go ahead and jump on into the PGA tab for the cheat sheet. Looking at it, guys, I always like to start with where we're getting prop line differences, because in golf, that's even bigger. But on the slate specifically, we're only getting one prop line difference there. So really not worth attacking it that way. We're going to sort by edge, and we're going to notice that a lot of these under birdie or better bets are going to be some of the best bets on the board. I do expect the Sunday setup for this tournament to be a little bit more difficult as well, so not bad there. We do have some fairways hit prop bets, but to summarize, I'm perfectly fine with going like Hogard here to get under 4.5 birdies or better included in what the PrizePicks bet of the day will be. And so guys, just real fast, getting into the PrizePicks bet of the day, we'll jump into Underdog in just a second. Looking at it, guys, we are targeting the under fantasy scores for Tennessee. Again, just because they're the best bets on the board. Really, we have one good bet, and that's Zeigler for under his fantasy score, but I don't mind the idea of stacking that game, betting on it being that low scoring game. Now, if you guys are watching this, I think it's going to be high scoring. Go to Flip or something like that and bet the over points total in that game, because it is pretty low scoring. If you guys are someone that can bet on traditional sports books as well, you could do that as well. And then yes, just attaching this one here because I do think the Sunday setup is going to be more difficult, and I didn't want to attach another college basketball prop bet in there because it's just not as good. Now, I do want to get into another bet that we have available on the site and app, Betr. This is kind of a plus EV bet that we were getting as well. Now, they do offer daily discounts on Betr, about 3 typically as well. So if these lines are still available, guys, these are going to be 2 good spots as well. They both currently have about a 55% edge available. As I'm recording this video, these prop bets are not available at these current lines on PrizePicks Underdog, so you could bet those on Betr. If you guys are looking to do that, make sure to use the promo code in the link in the description below. That will kick back some money my way. That's just the easy way to help out the channel there, guys. And again, the best part about Betr is that they do offer those daily discounts. All right, guys, and just looking at the Underdog board, really not getting them any good prop bets specifically for college basketball. And again, that's just most likely due to the fact that we're not getting any of those fantasy score prop bets. It is a very tight board. It is a 2-game slate as well. So typically speaking, that does naturally happen. But again, I think our spots are going to be with those fantasy score prop bets when they pop up. Now, I don't mind Johnny to actually get over 1.5 turnovers. He could be a little bit more aggressive in this game. I could see that hitting, but again, don't really need to go out of our way to target really any of these. What we're seeing here is that the lines are all seemingly correct. One slight spot would be Cryer for over 14.5 points, but again, this is kind of the issue with PrizePicks in general. This one only has a 52.3% edge. Okay, PrizePicks really isn't losing out on much with that line, and they're already bumping it to 15, so kind of crazy there, but slight prop line difference there, so worth calling out. And another prop line difference that we are getting here as well is going to be Cryer for his rebounds. This is pretty big, but nothing that we need to go crazy with. It's about a 50-50 split there. We're just not getting enough data in on that one just yet. So again, guys, I would love to give you guys an Underdog bet of the day, but the bets just aren't there right now. Again, we want to be attacking those bets that have a 54% likelihood or better hit, and they're just not there. So no need to force it today with that. So that's going to do it for this video. If you guys want access to any of this video or any of the tools that you saw in this video, head on over to 9to5sports.com. Get access to all those tools for just $10 a month. Including that is going to be some fancy golf tools as well, which if you want to play some PGA DFS for the Masters, that's coming up shortly as well. So it'd be a good time to get invested in that. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. Make sure to give a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Good luck. And as always, let's keep cashing.